The trenches, where games aren't just played, they're conquered. Where bodies collide with the force of two pickup trucks at full throttle. Every snap is war. Every rep is survival. Their mission? Erase the man across from you, by any means necessary. The spotlight rarely hits them, but they don't care. They live in the chaos. They thrive in violence. They carry the weight of an entire team, dragging victory out of the mud with their bare hands. This is Trench Talk. Welcome back into Trench Talk, ladies and gentlemen, on the Nickel City Mafia YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe if you're new. If you aren't new, share this out, like the video. And today we're going to talk about the offensive line expectations and also bring up my expectations from last year and see how close they were at the end of the season. And as you guys know, I'm your host, Shawn, trench fanatic, played a lot of trenches in my day. It's just something I love. I love talking about it. And we're going to have some great conversations this year. But to get right into it, we're going to look at what my expectation was going into the 2024 season as far as sacks, hits, hurries, pressures go. And then we're going to see what they actually achieved to that point last year. Okay, so in 2024, my goal was give up between 12 and 16 sacks. In 2024, we actually only gave up 14. And that was in between what exactly I was hoping. And then again, only 4 of them were credited to the offensive line. So the other 10 were either Josh ran into the sack, uncovered men that came in and blitzed, or random things like that. So that was pretty spot on. And then next was hits. I said give up between 20 and 25. We gave up 12. Very good. Hurries, I said 110 to 120. And then we gave up exactly 110. And then for total pressures, I said between 120 and 130, and we gave up 126. So I was really close with my, goals and expectations from that 2024 year. So before we get into the totals for 2024 for each individual player, I had the 2025 goals set, and then we're going to come back to this video one of these times next year and see what happens. But before we get into that, we're just going to go right back to the 2024 stats for each player. So to start the list, we're going to go with the best offensive lineman on the team, Dion Dawkins. Obviously, he's our most impressive offensive lineman. He's the best we got. He's the captain of this offensive line. He did give up not quite a bit, but majority of the sacks on the team as far as what was credited to the O-line last year. So I'd like to see, because his pressure total was pretty dang good. So bring those sacks down to maybe 1 the whole year, maybe even 0. Hits, hurries, again, that's all really good. But we're going to go bring those sacks down a couple. David Edwards now next. 0 sacks in 2024, only 2 hits. Now he gave up 23 hurries for 25 total pressures and flagged 6 times. So it's no surprise David Edwards he's been the weak link of this O-line. However, he is pretty good, but he's someone we can look into replacing. I don't know if they're going to maybe move Cedric Van Prangranger to left guard next year, or maybe Chase Lunt will be that guy next year, or if we're going to draft someone next year. But I would have preferred had his replacement already in the building. But we'll see. He just needs to continue to, even though he's a weaker link, just don't regress, because then we could have some problems. Connor McGovern, the center, who I was a little bit worried about only because he hasn't played center much in the NFL, even though he's more comfortable there. But he did pretty outstanding last year. Gave up 0 sacks, 1 hit, 24 hurries for 25 total pressures, only flagged 3 times. So that's pretty good, keeping those flags down. Now, again, his hurries are quite high compared to everything else he does. And I would say he's great in run blocking, but I would say he might be the weak link in the run blocking for the offensive line. Again, he's not horrible at it, but that's something he can work on going into 2025. And then again, only flagged 3 times. It's pretty dang good. Now, Cyrus Torrence, the promising going into year 3, right guard. I really absolutely love what he's been doing, but he's got a little bit of work to do. Granted, give up no sacks, only 2 hits, 35 hurries, which is quite high, 37 total pressures, flagged 7 times. Now, he has something really awesome going last year where he's played every single snap the last 2 years straight without taking a break, without getting subbed out, without getting injured. And then that Week 18 game last year, they ruined it by taking him out to get him rest, which I understand, but he's very durable. He's great pass blocking. He's great run blocking. Again, he can work on a couple things. For him, my main thing would be, again, he's really big and powerful. And sometimes speed rushers, when they come inside on a stunt or if they're coming across the body, he sometimes has trouble. He does stick with them when he turns his body, but it'd be a lot better for his play to see maybe if he can be a little bit quicker with his feet and get in front of them before they can cross his body. But overall, very pleased with him. Now, Spencer Brown, only 1 sack, 3 hits, 13 hurries, 17 total pressure. So he had the least amount of pressures. Now, granted, he did miss 1 game out of the 17. Everyone else played every 16 games, but he missed another game on top of that. And he was flagged 16 times. So he almost had as many penalties as he did total pressures given up. So obviously, with Spencer Brown, besides the back thing, those flags can't happen. 15 yards, 15 yards, 15 yards. A lot of them were for like end of the play roughhousing, and it hurt us. So he really needs to turn back on those penalties, and then we'll be pretty good. Now, we'll go to the team goals first. And then, well, really how I just decided it was I had the 2025 team goals, and then, individually, it is what it is because you never know who's maybe someone could get hurt. So I don't want to put just like the individual number out for each player, but we'll just say the goal for the total, and then we'll see what they really end up with. So the goal for 2025 for sacks, because we gave up 14 last year, I said 10 to 14. I don't want to regress. So if it's 15, even though it's not bad, it's still a regression. So 10 to 14 is going to be extremely hard. But the last 2 years, this has been one of the best offensive lines in the league. And I've been talking about it since then. And these guys deserve a lot of love. So I'm going to put them at high expectation. So 10 to 14. Now for hits, we gave up 12 last year. And the range is obviously it's going to be a little bit more than 12, but I put 10 to 15. Again, I don't want to regress. So as long as you're between 10 and 12, that'd be awesome. For hurries, we had 110 last year. So I bumped it to 95 to 110 this year. We'll see what happens. And then for total, last year was 126. So I set the standard at 115 to 125. Now, again, all these statistics are going to be extremely difficult because, obviously it's very challenging thing to do, but we did it last year. And Allen was the least sacked quarterback 2 years before that. So we're going to set the expectations high because this unit is very, very, very good. And I have nothing but high hopes for them. Brown, Torrance continuing to get better. McGovern, another year as a center for the Buffalo Bills. Edwards hasn't regressed yet. And then Dawkins, again, just should be an all-pro at this point. Very high expectations for this offensive line. They're going to continue to grow with Aaron Kromer at the helm. And having a great coach is a lot to do with camaraderie, how people improve. With Bobby Johnson, we didn't hardly have any improvement. We just had people in the wrong positions, people regressing. They ruined Cody Ford. We had John Feliciano and Brian Winters. This is an amazing last couple years we got. So let's make it 3 years in a row. Drop your because I gave you my 2025 expectations for the team. Let me hear some of your maybe individual stat lines for Dawkins, Brown, Torrance, Edwards, and McGovern if you feel like it, or just say how you feel about the offensive line in general. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Until next time, go Bills, and we'll see you later.